Hi there, my name is David Bohn with FFC, and I am one of our Pilates trainers, personal trainers, and exclusive group fitness instructors for the company. And I'm going to give you a short little yoga practice that can be done at any point in the day, but it's going to be geared primarily for when you want to wind down at night. So it'll be a short practice to help work on a little mobility, loosen the body up, and try to get the body to calm down as well as the mind, so that hopefully you can have a great night's sleep afterwards. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's come on down, and you can come onto a mat at home, or a towel or a blanket, or I guess if you have a big comfy bed, you can go right on your bed if you want. But we're going to come down into all fours, just a little tabletop position, and really think about trying to pull your shoulders away from your ears. So especially in Western society, right? Everyone's here getting all tense, so try to relax the shoulders and just start off with an easy little just loosening of your neck. You want to think about disengaging your traps, which are your big muscles at the base of your neck. Now let's start mobilizing that spine a little bit. So as you inhale, give yourself an easy little extension. So think eyes and tailbone up. And as you exhale, try to smoothly round that entire spine. And as you inhale, easy extension, and exhale. So just do this a few times. Think about coordinating your movement with your breathing, right? So that helps to get your muscles to move nice and smooth. And especially when you're trying to loosen your spine, think about that controlled sequential movement. Okay, we'll do a couple more, because especially if you're telecommuting a lot, you're sitting at a desk all day, your spine tends to stiffen. So you want to give your body a chance to kind of loosen up a little bit. Now, coming to that nice neutral spine, what I want you to do is you're just going to pick up, let's say, your right foot, keeping that knee on the floor. Now, as you exhale, I want you to bend to the right, look at your foot outside of your right shoulder. Now, as you exhale, you're going to pivot all the way to the left and look at it outside of your left shoulder. So now, just do this a few times in each direction. So what we're working on is now trying to mobilize your spinal column laterally rather than just to the front and the back. Because again, our lifestyle is very linear, and this is a really easy way to loosen your spine and your hips. This will be our last one. Come to the center, and then just switch legs, picking up the other foot. You're going to bend, try to look outside of your shoulder, and then outside of your shoulder. Now, if you haven't been doing a lot of flexibility, mobility work, you might find that, I can't see my foot over here, right? So that just means your spine is getting a little stiff. So it's actually great that you're going to try to incorporate a little bit of this yoga mobility, especially before bed. Let's do one more in each direction. Good. Coming to the center. Now from here, what I want you to do is you're going to, let's step forward, just say with one foot, coming into a nice, easy, low lunge. So if you are on the floor or anything and you want to put up a mat or a towel underneath your back knee to make yourself comfortable, but notice how my hips are in front of my back knee. So as you exhale, think about just trying to relax. Try to lengthen your hip flexor joint. So again, what happens if you sit a lot at a desk, your hips tend to get tight. So really work on trying to lengthen that spine. I've noticed in a lot of my classes that when we do this stretch, a lot of people are kind of like this. This is unfortunately not going to help you a whole lot. So really work on that extension. Nothing aggressive, practice let gravity do its thing. And then from here, you actually have a whole bunch of options. If you want to stay here, great. If you want to bring both hands back down to the floor. So this will also give you a stretch through both hips. So one for the inner thigh, one for the front of the hip. Then from here, if you want, you can curl the toes. You can try to pick up your back foot, stretching your thigh. So this one I particularly like because as an instructor and a cyclist, I do a lot of biking, and my quads, thighs tend to get really beat up. So this is a great stretch for that. And so you can think about doing this once, you can go through this a few times, just kind of see how your body feels, right, when you're doing your practice. And then when you're done, we're just going to step back and switch sides. So bring the foot forward, and again, try to get your hip in front of your back knee. So notice this is not going to do a whole lot of lengthening from a hip joint. So you want to bring your foot forward, easy opening. And now notice this gives your hip flexor a chance to lengthen. And again, as you stretch and you feel like it's tight, are you tightening your body? So focus on that breathing. Try to relax, right? You really don't want to force anything right before bed, right? So just let your body do what it needs to do. And after you've held this stretch maybe for like 10, 15, 20 seconds at least, if you want, you can again come down to those hands on the other side. Just so I'm balanced, I'm going to stretch out my quad. And especially if you come to a stretch and you're like, ooh, that really gets my attention. Right before bed is not the time to really go all out. So notice the stretch, move around a little bit, and then release as necessary. So now from here, just come on down onto your sit bones. So a lot of people talk about being tight in their hamstrings. So something like this, sitting up straight with a neutral spine is challenging. Okay? So we're going to work on a little hamstring flexibility. So folding one foot in towards your other thigh. If you are pleasantly snug in your legs, feel free to grab a towel, grab a belt, right? You can look around your foot. Otherwise, you can reach out. And again, as you exhale, easy stretch. Again, does not need to be aggressive. And remember, you're trying to get your body and your mind to relax a little bit before bed. So just kind of see what your body needs. You don't need to force it. If you want to go from one leg to the other 2 or 3 times, great. Just kind of see what your body wants. As you inhale, roll yourself up. We're going to take that foot and bring it across to get a little hip stretch. So you can wrap around first with one forearm and then the other. As you inhale, try to lengthen that spine and see if you can get a little stretch through that opposite hip. And especially if you're fairly flexible, right? Sitting like this will probably not give you a whole lot of benefits. So really think about drawing the abdominals in and your stomach towards your thigh. Now let's uncross and even it out. So bring the opposite leg in. If you can, think about that posture. You're going to reach up. Exhale, easy forward fold. Whether you can grab it with your foot, towel, blanket, and then stretch. As you inhale, roll yourself up. Bring that foot to the outside of the hip. Wrap around first with one forearm, then the other. And as you inhale, try to lengthen that spine up. You can try to rotate, you can move your arms. So there are all sorts of little adjustments you can make. Then after you've done that, thankfully, it is perfect time to come down onto your back. So one thing I like to do is bring your arms to a T formation. As you exhale, just drop both legs down to one side. Again, really think about working with gravity. So you don't have to come all the way down in one breath, right? Do it nice and slow. If you want to emphasize the stretch, you can use one hand. Think about trying to get your knees down and your back shoulder blade down if possible. And after you've held that for 15, 20 seconds, as you exhale, bring it in, switch sides, easy stretch for that low back. Remember, you never want to force your spine into anything. And again, every time you exhale, so you can get your rib cage and your low back to soften. And as you exhale, come back to the center. Bring your knees in toward your chest. Give your spine one final stretch. And then, as you exhale, you can relax. And if you want to come to a traditional Shavasana, you want to give yourself a few moments breathing, either in a butterfly stretch or straight legs, you can. Otherwise, you can slide in your favorite cozy jams and go to bed. Okay? So again, my name is David Bohn with FFC. I hope that you found this short little yoga practice easy to follow and hopefully ultimately relaxing, so that as you get ready for bed, you can just sort of have a great night's sleep. Thanks so much for tuning in. Join us for more tips on our FFC blog.